When residing in a great congregation of Shramanas, he cuts off his beard and hair, dons the Kashaya robe, firmly holds his robes and bowl, guards all his faculties, and enables them to feel delighted and extinguish their afflictions. If there are times when he draws near to Brahmins, he then manifests for them an emaciated body, and grasps a staff, holds a vase, and is constantly perfectly pure as, fully possessed of wisdom, he engages them in skillful discussions. By expelling the old and inhaling the fresh, he is able to become full. Inhaling the wind and drinking the dew, he has no other food. Whether sitting or standing, he remains unmoving, and by manifesting such austerities, subdues the heterodox traditions. He may appear upholding their morality as a teacher of the world, as skillful in knowing medical decoctions and all the other treatises, writing mathematics, astronomy, geography, physiognomy, and personal fortune and misfortune, having none he has not fathomed. He may appear deeply entering the practice of the dhyanas, liberations, samadhis, spiritual superknowledges, and wisdom, participating in discussions, chanting, singing, or humorous repartee, using expedients to enable everyone to abide in the Buddha's path. He may appear with supremely fine robes adorning his body, wearing a floral crown on his head, and shaded by a high canopy, with his fourfold army preceding, following, and surrounding him, warning all, extending awesome power, and subduing lesser kings. For others he acts as a judge, hearing and adjudicating their disputes, skillful in understanding all of the world's laws and responsibilities, clearly assessing all cases where assets are awarded or confiscated, thereby causing everyone involved to happily submit to his decisions. In some cases, he serves as a great official serving the chief minister, skillfully using the king's methods of governance, bringing about pervasive benefit to everyone in the 10 directions, even as none of those beings completely understand his actions. Sometimes he is one of the lesser kings, as numerous as scattered millet, and sometimes he serves as a flying, wheel-turning emperor. He causes the princes and the groups of female retainers to all accept teachings, doing so in ways none of them can fathom. In some cases, he serves as one of 4 world-protecting Deva kings, who commands and leads all the dragons, yakshas, and others, teaching the Dharma for their congregations, thereby causing them all to feel great joyous happiness. Sometimes he serves as a great Tristrimsa Deva king, abiding in the hall of good Dharma and the garden of delights, who wears a floral crown and speaks on the sublime Dharma. The Devas come to pay their respects, even as none can fathom him. In some cases, he abides in the Suyama or Tushita heaven, the Nirmanarati heaven, or the abode of the Vasavartin Mara king, where he resides in a palace made of mani jewels and speaks on genuine practice, causing his listeners to accept the training. Sometimes he goes among a congregation of Brahma heaven devas, speaks on the 4 immeasurables and the path of the dhyanas, causes them all to feel joyous delight, and then disappears, all with none of them perceiving any sign of his going or coming. In some cases he goes to the Akanistha heaven, speaks to them about the precious flowers of the limbs of Bodhi, or on the other measureless qualities and the Aryas, after which he then disappears without anyone knowing it at all. For all those beings, seen by the Tathagata's unimpeded wisdom, he employs boundlessly many approaches to the use of skillful means, and thus gives many different teachings to bring about their ripening. In this he is like a master conjurer, skilled in the art of casting illusions, who manifests appearances of all kinds of illusory phenomena. In his teaching of beings, the Buddha is also just like this, as he manifests many different bodies for their sakes. Just as the clearly shining moon up in the sky causes the beings in the world to see its waxings and wanings, as its image is reflected in all the rivers and ponds, and it outshines their radiance from all the stars and constellations, so too the moon of the Tathagata's wisdom comes forth into the world, and also through skillful means manifests waxings and wanings. Its reflections appear in the waters of the bodhisattva's minds, as the Shravaka stars and constellations then lose their bright appearance. Just as the great ocean is full of precious jewels, pristinely pure, free of turbidity, and measureless, and just as the images of all beings of the four continents all appear as reflected in it, so too it is with the ocean of meritorious qualities of Buddha's body, that is free of defilement, free of turbidity, boundless, and such that of all beings within the Dharma realm there are none of them whose images do not appear reflected in it. Just as the clearly shining sun emanates 1,000 rays of light, and without moving from its original place illuminates the 10 directions, so too it is with the light of the Buddha sun, that, even without ever going or coming, still rids the world of its darkness. Just as the Dragon King sends down the great rains that come forth neither from his body or his mind, and yet they are still able to drench everything everywhere, rinsing away the burning heat and causing clarity and coolness, so too it is with the Tathagata's Dharma rain that does not come forth from either the Buddha's body or his mind, and yet is still able to awaken all beings, and everywhere extinguish the fires of the 3 poisons. The Tathagata's pure and wondrous Dharma body has no peer anywhere in the 3 realms, because it transcends the path of worldly discourse, and because its nature is neither existent nor non-existent. Though it has no place it depends on, it has no place it does not abide. Though it has no place it fails to reach, still it does not go anywhere. It is like a painting made in space, and like what is seen in a dream. Just so should one contemplate the body of the Buddha. Of all the dharmas in the 3 realms, whether existent or non-existent, there are none of them that can be compared to the Buddha. Just as of all birds, beasts, or other creatures in the mountains, forests, there are none of them that can dwell solely in the sky. Just as the great ocean's mani jewels are found in countless colors, so too it is with the differences existing in the Buddha's bodies. The Tathagata is neither form nor formless. He appears in response to what is fitting, yet has no place he dwells. Empty space, true suchness, as well as the apex of reality, nirvana, the nature of dharmas, quiescent cessation, and such. It is only by resort to such genuine dharmas as these that one might be able to reveal the Tathagata. Perhaps one could count all kshestras, dusts, and all minds, thoughts, or drink up all the waters of the great ocean. And perhaps one could measure empty space and tie up all the winds. Still, no one can fully describe the Buddha's meritorious qualities. Whoever hears of this ocean of meritorious qualities and experiences joyous delight and thoughts of resolute faith will thereby be bound to acquire them all, as here proclaimed. Be careful not to harbor any doubting thoughts about this.